In today's video is All Things Thanksgiving collaboration hosted by CJ over at Homeschooling Through High School and Stephanie of Schultz's Sweeties Homeschool. Make sure to check out their channels and the playlist. You will find all of the links down in the description box. This collaboration, again, is all about Thanksgiving, whether it's a day in the life, a haul, traditions, travel, things you're grateful for, books, games, unit studies, recipes, or reflections, you name it. So stay tuned. Welcome back to my channel. I am so excited to have joined this All Things Thanksgiving collaboration. I wanted to break out of the traditional Thanksgiving meal, which includes turkey. I kind of wanted to do something with seafood such as salmon or some type of a fish. I chose salmon. So in this video, I am serving up some almond crusted salmon with a potato and carrot puree. So before we start anything, I want to get these potatoes and carrots ready. You're going to bring both of them to a boil in separate pots. The carrots, you're going to add half a cup of butter with some salt. And the potatoes, you are going to boil them with water and a little salt. While they are boiling, I am going to go ahead and prepare the coating for the salmon. I want to crush my almonds so that I can crust the salmon. Now, once I add these almonds into the food processor and I crush them, I will show you the consistency. This is what it should look like. You're going to want to now transfer this over to a bowl and add in some Parmesan cheese. You can also chop some parsley and add it in as well. So before we crust the salmon with the almonds, we're gonna cut up about 2 cloves of garlic and you're gonna add it into a bowl. Again, you're gonna use the 1 juice of a lemon as well as the honey. I'm using keto honey, which I purchased over at Chalk Zero. That honey is an alternate to regular honey, especially if you're following the keto diet, but you can use regular honey or maple syrup. And then you're gonna need about 2 tablespoons of Dijon mustard. In addition to your oil, I'm using avocado oil, but you are more than welcome to use olive oil if that's what you have. And then you're going to mix this up and you are going to brush it onto your salmon. Once you brush this onto your salmon, you will then add in the almond and Parmesan cheese crust. Now, some of you may say, hold up, wait a minute. This has nothing to do with Thanksgiving, but actually it does. If you didn't know, fish was served in the first Thanksgiving back in 1621. And I also wanted to have a different option for those family members and friends that really are not into turkey, but still want to be a part of the festivities, right? So I decided to share this fish recipe if you are looking for another option. So now I'm ready to coat my salmon. As you can see, I'm taking the lemon juice with Dijon mustard and honey and oil, and we're just going to brush it on the fish. You can do it all over the fish. I did it front and back and on the sides. And then once I have coated the entire fillets, I will then add the almond crust. This will allow the crust to stick to the fish. And I'm only going to do one side of the fish with the almond crust. What other protein would you opt for if you're not a big turkey fan? Please let me know in the comments below. I would love to see how you celebrate your Thanksgiving with your family and friends. I went ahead and preheated my oven to 400 degrees. While the oven is preheating, I am going to go ahead and crust my almond or crust the salmon with the almond crust. And so this is really easy to make. It's so delicious, so simple. And you can add as much almond as you want on top of the fish. Once you finish coating your almonds, I keep saying that, I'm so sorry. Once you coat your fish, you're gonna put it in the oven and you're gonna bake it at 400 degrees for about 15 minutes. Because the fish does not have the skin, it has a faster cook time. While the salmon is baking, I'm gonna go ahead and make a white wine Parmesan sauce to kind of use as a gravy. We'll just kind of use it for garnish and sprinkling all around the plate, so that as you're eating the fish with the puree, you're gonna have all of those flavors just marrying each other. It's gonna be delicious. So in a saucepan, you're going to want to use some white wine. So I went ahead and I added some garlic cloves into the saucepan, and I'm gonna let that boil until it gets halfway. While the sauce is doing its thing, I have the carrot puree that's ready, the carrots, to make it into a puree. Now we don't want to discard the buttered water because that's gonna help us to kind of like help us with the consistency of the puree. I also added about half a tablespoon of lemon juice. You're going to transfer all of this into your blender. You can add a little salt, and then you're going to blend it, and you're going to keep adding the buttered water until you find the right consistency. Now I transferred the puree over to the squeeze bottle because I'm going to use the carrot puree as a garnish. And so once I put it into the bottle, I'm going to set it aside and I'm going to go back to my wine sauce. So now that the wine has reduced about halfway, I'm going to slowly add in some cream. And the reason you don't want to add the cream too quickly is because it will begin to curdle. So you want to temper the cream as you're going in. You're whisking it in slowly. Once you're done adding in the cream, you're gonna let it come to a boil and let it simmer until it's reduced again, almost halfway through. Once that is done, you're gonna give it a quick stir and you're gonna add in your Parmesan cheese, and you're gonna stir in the cheese, letting it melt until you reach the level of consistency that you want. Now this is a very important step because you don't want your butter to break. So you're gonna need 4 tablespoons of butter, but you're not gonna add it while the sauce is on the fire. You're gonna remove it from the heat and you're gonna add in 1 tablespoon at a time. Again, it's like tempering what we did with the cream. We were tempering it. We wanna do the same thing with the butter because we don't want that butter to break. So you're gonna add those tablespoons 1 at a time. Once you're done with adding all of the butter, you can taste the sauce. If it's a little bit bitter because of the wine, you can add a little bit of honey so that it can kind of balance it out, and it's gonna taste so good. Trust the process. All right, now that the sauce is done, I'm gonna set this aside and I'm gonna put my attention to the potatoes. Now, you normally would need a ricer to make the potato puree. Unfortunately, I don't have a ricer, so I'm using this masher. And I went ahead, I removed the potatoes out of the water. I added some butter. As you can see, I like to add the butter in. The potatoes are hot, so the butter will melt, and then you will just continue to mash the potatoes and as the butter is melting. Now, while I was stirring in the butter or mashing in the butter with my potatoes, I was bringing to a boil milk and heavy cream. And so you want to make sure that when you're adding the liquid into the potatoes that the milk and the cream are boiling, okay? It's hot. So you're gonna add it in a little at a time until you reach the level of consistency that you want for your puree. Now, the difference between mashed potatoes and puree is the texture and the method used to make these two different types of items. You know, the cooking time for mashed potatoes usually is less time than the puree. You can also, with mashed potatoes, you can make it with the skins on, while the puree is really no skin can be on the potato. And so you can also leave larger pieces in the mashed potatoes. You can make them with mayonnaise if you want. Some people add eggs. And so basically the puree is much smoother, has a richer taste to it because of the butter and the cream and the milk. Now that I've cooked with love, it's time for me to serve it with joy. And so I just had so much fun working on this dish and just trying to serve it up in a way that will express the gratitude that I have for family and friends. And so let me know which presentation you like the best. Number 1, which is this one right here, or number 2, which will follow as soon as I'm done plating this particular plate. Again, make sure to check out CJ over at Homeschooling Through High School, and the other channel as well, Schultz Homeschool Sweeties. Make sure to check them out, as well as the playlist, and let's see how this will turn out. And there you have it, my friends. From my family to yours, we want to wish you a very happy and joyful Thanksgiving. May the Lord bless you in abundance. I cannot wait to share with you what else I am grateful for throughout the month of November. So make sure to continue watching, and I will catch you all in the next video. Until next time, bye.